Hi.
Hi,
Tell us your name and where you're from.
my name is Lindsay Samansky and I'm from Littleton, Colorado.
Excellent. And what brings you out here?
What brings me out here is a gentleman who is very special to me. His name's Joseph Roberson. He goes by Joe Robertson. And he's a 77-year-old Navy vet. And I learned of his story quite a few months ago. And I felt a conviction to get involved and help him.
Well, what did you find out about his story?
I found out that the EPA and the Forest Service and the federal government was abusing and overreaching another person in Montana for him putting stock ponds on his property to help fight wildfires, help with livestock. He did get the proper permits from the state of Montana, and the EPA and Forest Service moved his property line, trumped up charges, and his first hearing was a mistrial or hung jury. His second trial, they convicted him. And originally they were going to give him 15 years. And they were charging him with putting dredge material in the U.S. waterways under the Clean Water Act.
Amazing. And why? You said it happened in Montana?
Yes, around Basin, Montana.
Basin, Montana?
Yep.
Well, this is Colorado, is it not?
Yeah, we're in Colorado. We're in Englewood, Colorado. So they sentenced him on July 20th, and they had him in the Missoula jail for about a week. They moved him to Crossroads Correctional Facility up in northern Montana in Shelby. He had symptoms of a stroke. He had double vision. He didn't get any visitors except one, and that was specially set up by a senator to get him a family friend to go see him. After a few weeks of being there, they moved him to Pahrump, Nevada. He got to be in the same cell as Cliven Bundy and Todd Engel for about a day and a half, under 2 days. Then they moved him to Oklahoma City for a couple weeks. And then they moved him to Englewood, Colorado. And it's the FCI Englewood Federal Correction Facility to serve the rest of his 18 months.
And we're right across the street.
And we're right across the street from that facility.
Okay.
Yep.
And do they normally do that with prisoners?
I would say no, because he has an open appeal. And he should be on release working with a legal team fighting his appeal.
Oh my.
And they have denied him this by twisting, lying, and trumping up a bunch of stuff, relating him to the people who stood up in Oregon for the Hammond family, the Malheur Refuge, relating him to twisting words on something he said about Ruby Ridge. They twisted it and made it sound negative instead of positive. And that he was on radio shows talking about his story. So they think he's a danger to society, and they wouldn't let him on release. It was denied.
So he didn't threaten anybody?
No, he didn't threaten anybody. He's never harmed anybody.
So there's no reason.
There's no violence. There's no criminal activity. There's nothing to deny him release.
Well, what do you think people should do?
I think people need to stop listening to the mainstream media. Stop allowing them to demonize us. And when I say us, we're not anti-government. We love our government when they're following the laws and they're within their range within the Constitution, what the Constitution defines the federal government to be able to do.
Should people be studying something? Or?
People should be studying the Constitution. They should be learning civics. They should be, it's quite simple. If there's no victim, there's no crime.
So there has to be a victim before there's a crime.
Yep. And Joe had a professional pro bono report done by Cagle Environmental, and they went out and surveyed his property, and he had no damage to that property, no dredge materials. He improved the environment.
And did this company state that during the trial?
They did not allow that evidence in his sentencing hearing or afterwards or anything. They didn't allow it.
Oh my. Where can people find out more about this so they can study and listen on their own?
So for right now, most of it is on Facebook. There's a Joe and Carrie Roberson support page, and that's where you'll find all the videos from Joe himself speaking about this. You'll find a bunch of videos that other people have done, other, meetings and town halls that he told his story to. So,
Can people? Is there a way that the reason that we're right here is because he's right across the street in the prison that's over there.
yeah. So
What
he's.
about people who are too far away?
Yeah, so people that are too far away, we do have a national call to action to get involved. And what we need is Senator Cory Gardner's D.C. office contacted. We need the Bureau of Prisons headquarters in D.C. contacted. We've also added our congressman here, Mike Kaufman, to that list.
What if I just wanted to wish Joe a better day?
On that support page on Facebook, there's a exact way that you can mail him a letter or a card.
So let's try that again. There's an exact.
There's on that Joe and Carrie Robertson support page on Facebook, on the pinned post there, the first thing that you see is how to mail Joe a letter or card of encouragement.
And does that help him?
He has stated this several times. That is the one thing that is keeping him going while he's locked up in there.
So anybody anywhere could really help Joe.
Could really help Joe by writing, yes. And we're also asking for sponsors at $50 a month to help his wife Carrie. And she just needs basic needs every month. We're trying to get $500 raised every month because they took Joe's VA benefits away and they took his Social Security away. And that was Carrie's sole income.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to say?
So in the last 2 weeks, we've had a lot of developments in Joe's case. For 9 weeks, myself, Lindsay Szymanski, and Ollie Smith have been trying to get on Joe's visitor list because we are trusted family friends of the Robertsons. I've become very close to them. I consider Joe my adopted grandpa, and Carrie's my best friend. And they won't allow him to have visitors. The reason for their denial for me is saying I'm a security concern.
Well, are you a security risk?
No, I'm a single mom. I work good, no record at all. And for Ollie, they're saying he did not know Joe before he was incarcerated. But we have pictures of me, Ollie, and Joe together in July before the sentencing hearing. And Joe has PTSD. And he has certain medicine that he needs to take to regulate that. And they have not provided that. And he had symptoms of a stroke. He has double vision. The Bureau of Prisons, whether it was in Montana, Pahrump, Nevada, Oklahoma City, or here, have not given him a CT scan. He has not had a full medical workup. And our big concern is last Wednesday he called and said, I passed out in my counselor's office. I went to medical. They did an EKG, but it didn't read right because they didn't shave the hair off of his chest. He could feel and hear his heart not working properly. They put him in a wheelchair to an elevator, handed him a cane, and made him walk down 3 flights of stairs back to his pod. And that was last Wednesday night. And then the next day he met with his counselor and he had a box of very important legal marked mail. One item was a privacy form. Again, we're working with Cory Gardner's office, who has been helpful, but they're tied up with red tape right now. So that privacy form needs to get to Cory Gardner's office so they can request from the Bureau of Prisons for Joe to get a full medical exam. And he also had important paperwork for his current public defender. And then there was some letters and paperwork that he was trying to send to my house. His counselor grabbed that box, told him they needed to go through that box, clearly marked legal mail, and he asked to be present because it's legal mail. He has to be present. They denied him this and told him to come back at 5 o'clock that night. And that was the last that we heard from him. He had called after that to explain that to us. he gave us more details about how he was feeling, why he was on the phone with us. He said his heart wasn't working right, and I said, Joe, you need to go to medical. And he was trying to get legal mail out. We're trying to get his visitor list updated. He's having all these medical issues. That legal mail needs to get out so we can help him. And he got in an argument. We didn't know this until he called yesterday, but he got in an argument with his counselor, and they put him in solitary confinement for that argument.
A 77-year-old Navy veteran, and they put him in solitary.
Yes.
He got nothing but Bill Ponzo's land, and they put him in solitary.
Yes, without even giving him medical treatment after he was on the phone with us, saying, my heart's not working right, it's skipping beats. So they put him in solitary confinement. Originally, it was supposed to be 3 or 4 weeks. His counselor went and got him yesterday, and our prayers to soften the hearts of these people worked, because she came and got him yesterday and said, it's Veterans Day, I'm going to go ahead and let you out. So immediately he called me, and he sounded a little bit better, but the only thing getting him through this is us on the outside showing the support, coming out and doing prayer rallies for him, the mail and cards that everybody sends him. And they're denying him this medical care. And he could have serious issues. We have anything from a stroke, heart attack, I mean, any of those type of symptoms. Any elderly person, if you went to a hospital, they would do a full workup on you and make sure that you were okay. And when you put all this evidence together, and me and my amazing team of people have documented everything, we followed all their rules, all their regulations, all their red tape. And we have documented this so well that we have enough that we went public with this. And we are saying, Joe's statement is they are trying to kill him. And that is a very strong statement. But I have to agree with Joe. Why else are they not allowing visitors? Why else are they not taking him to the hospital when he's passing out? Why, since he was in Shelby in July and August and had symptoms of a stroke, has the Bureau of Prisons not had him get a CT scan? Why? We have to really ask these questions and start putting the puzzle pieces together. They don't want him talking to anybody. We're trying to get his wife and other people, other friends from Montana on his visitor list. The prison will not even call his wife back to see if he's okay or check on the visitor list. They won't call anybody back who's applied to be on the visitor list. And their website clearly says, you know, if you're coming in from out of state, make sure you call ahead of time to check to make sure you're approved. And they won't anything to do with Joe Roberson. That facility will not talk to anybody. But Corey Gardner's office, they have to talk to them. So they are working on helping Ollie get on the list and helping me get on the list. But it's taking too much time.
Do you think this is coming from his counselor, the warden, or somebody else?
I think someone from the top is calling the shots. And these federally paid employees, the warden, Deborah Denham, the counselor, L. Breezy, and the unit manager, Miss Pullen, and even the PR rep, William McCormick. Something's coming from the top, in my opinion.
And then what causes you to have that opinion?
Because all of them will not return phone calls.
Did they once tell you that something different?
At one point, I was approved to be on his list, but it wasn't at the front desk yet. So they just said, well, it's approved, it just got processed, it's not at the front desk, come back the next weekend. So I went back the next weekend, and all of a sudden the list is not updated. So Joe has had one visitor since July 20th, and again, that was arranged by a senator in Montana, special, with the warden.
And that was in a different state?
And that was in Montana, Crossroads facility.
Anything else you'd like to say?
Get involved, take 5-10 minutes a day, find your daily diligence, and take 5-10 minutes a day and send an email, make a phone call, and just step back and ask yourself, what if this was my grandpa? What if this was my husband? What if this was my brother? What if this was my sister? What if this was me? Would I have support outside when I'm being abused and neglected and railroaded by this abusive federal government? Would I have people to stand for me and be my voice?
Well, I'm sure he appreciates you being out there. I thank you for all that you've been doing.
Yeah, I've learned a lot. I'm not a professional media person, and I'm not really, I've kind of become the Robertson's family spokesperson, but I have a strong conviction, and I am a spiritual person, and I do believe in God, and I believe that I am being guided to do the right thing. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. Love your neighbor. It doesn't matter how it ends. It matters how you stand.
Very good. Thank you.
So please, you're welcome. Please get involved. Please, please, please. I beg people to just step up and get involved. I'm out here in a walker holding a flag because it's the right thing to do.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.